Now let's move on to our best card. We broke this up into an honorable mention, a non-pay-per-view fight night, and then a pay-per-view. So for my honorable mention, let's go with Barboza versus Chikadze. That fight card to me was really sweet. I wanted to put it as my overall fight night, but I couldn't because I'll tell you in a second. You'll understand why. But it was a fantastic card because obviously we're all heavily invested in the tough season, and that was the card where like Ricky Tercios fought, and that was the Ultimate Fighter finales. Remember?
Okay.
You remember watching it, like when Ricky fought and then Brian Battle fought.
Oh,
it was all the guys on Tough fought on the main UFC card live, and so I thought that was a really cool card. It was
that was really cool.
Yeah, it was sick because all those guys that we got to see fight live. And that's one of my honest to God, I didn't write him in here, but Ricky Tercios has to be by far one of the most exciting fighters, and then like also performance.
Yeah, like interesting fighters to watch.
Yeah, because he finds a way to elevate everybody he fights.
Yeah.
Every single guy he fought.
He like picks them up.
Yeah. He fought Dan Argueta.
Yep.
He fought Ludwig Sholinian, and then the Brady Hiestand.
Brady, yeah.
And he made all of those fight of the nights. All of those would have won $50K in the UFC by far. And all those guys are going to be in the UFC eventually,
and it's all because of Ricky.
Basically, everybody, he elevates their game, and he also just...
He does.
He's so good at everything he does. And he's not scared. He just kind of just bites out on the mouth guard and just... He brings so many elements to the table in terms of beating you. You can't hold him down because he scrambles back up to his feet. He'll throw up submissions, and then on the feet, he's an absolute killer. So
that's
I got to
definitely
give him
recognition.
Just his own little category of absolute killer, dude. But Barboza versus Chikadze, that was I want to just read off really fast some of the fights that were on there. You obviously had the two finales, and then you had Andre Petrosky fight the Michael Gilmore guy, who Gilmore basically quit his job and then kind of gave Petrosky a little bit of a run for his money. And then also Gerald freaking Meerschaert with one of the bigger upsets of the year against Mahmoud Muradov. He ended up subbing him after almost getting knocked out. And then like Mana Martinez versus Guido Canetti was one of my favorite fights of the year. It was crazy. And then Smiling Sam Alvey was on that. Dustin Jacoby, who's an absolute stud of a man, is on that card. So it was really good. It was good stuff. And then I was happy to see Gilbert Urbina kind of get a chance too, because there were some really good guys on that card. It sucks that Trayshawn couldn't have been fighting, because Trayshawn was the best middleweight in the house, obviously. But okay, that's that. That's the honorable mention. Then my favorite non-pay-per-view card is obviously, dude. This sounds a little like recency bias just because they happened so recently, but I genuinely went through every single one, and they just got better as the year progressed, and it didn't get any better in terms of a free fight. If you're not having to pay for a Max Holloway fight, then that has to be... He had two of the best fights of the year.
Best one there,
Cater and the Rodriguez fight against Yair. Yair honestly had him on the ropes a few times there. He cracked him big time, but overall, like as a whole... You had freaking Dao Jung, Rafael Alves, Sean Woodson was on this card, Thiago Moises was on this card, Song Yadong, Miguel Baeza, KS William, Julio Arce, and then obviously the main event, Max Holloway. That is the highest level stuff you're going to see without having to pay.
Yeah.
That's a legitimate pay-per-view right there that people got just on ESPN Plus, dude. Every time you get to see Max Holloway, you obviously have to tune in. And then Yair Rodriguez just reminded everybody in the featherweight division why he is so scary and why you don't want to fight him, because he put Max Holloway on the ropes, and Max Holloway is basically the best featherweight that's walking on planet Earth. So yeah, that's by far the
best non-pay-per-view. Yeah.
Is there any main event that you remember that you really liked?
That's a non-pay-per-view?
Yeah.
I could not tell you the difference.
I can pull up the list. They're all right here.
It's okay.
Okay. Now, let's get to, I think me and Bianca are both in consensus that this is
the best pay-per-view.
The best pay-per-view. Again, like I said, I'm sorry that they're all so recent, but I genuinely looked through every single one, and these were the best. Best one. Colby Usman 2. Best pay-per-view card.
But that's almost a given, but we know.
It's a given, but I'll instead of just looking at the main card, we'll look at some of the fights on the undercard. Like Ally Quinta versus Bobby Green. That's crazy. Chris Curtis with the upset over Phil Hawes. Nasruddin Imavov upset Edmund Shabazian. Alex Pereira, the guy that everybody thinks could beat Israel Adesanya was on the card. Ian Gary, next Conor McGregor was on the card. Chris Barnett had the crazy ass knockout over John Vellante and then did the backflip. And then Dustin Jacoby, who's one of the light heavyweights' biggest prospects. Our boy Melsik Bagazarm was on the card. And then Odie Osborne versus CJ Vergara started the card off with an absolute bang. So
that
just
whole
from
card
top
is
to bottom,
insane. Yeah.
crazy. And then you had Marlon Vera sandwiched in between Namajunas and Wei Lee and Burgos and Quarantillo, and people probably don't even remember. I mean, they obviously remember the big knockout, and Marlon Vera is an absolute stud. Like, you have to watch out for him. So altogether, it has to be the best card of the entire year, dude.
Yeah.
That's mine. UFC 268, baby. By far. Yeah.